Nobody could give me answers. For years, I tried to put together what had happened on New Year's Eve, 1977. It was only 2 years before I moved to Hillsboro, the historic town tucked in the middle of Highland County, Ohio. And nobody who had lived there before me, not even members of my own family, who could talk about anything, seemed to know what had happened. Most people weren't even willing to speak about it. If I'd been smart, I would have followed their lead. But how does one block out a single story without erasing dozens of others? The Ben story had become a part of my life, so I went with it. I was determined to fill in the blank page. In a chalky brick Greek Revival house at the corner of West South and Oak, 2 boys sat on a long couch facing a built-in bookcase the color of driftwood. Its shelves were filled with life-size carved and painted birds. Against the wall, and hovering over them, stood a tall blood-red, black, and blue totem pole from the Pacific Northwest. It was sculpted with sharpened stones from a single cedar log. And near their knees, on an abraded antique blanket chest, was a box of shells and a revolver. Ben, 14, his face creased in concentration, used something, a pair of needle-nose pliers, to pull the projectile and gunpowder out of each shell casing, then showed his 12-year-old friend how to make blanks to create a loud explosion. "You sure it's safe?" the boy undoubtedly asked. Ben was familiar with guns, but the younger boy was not. "Look." Ben placed several rounds in the revolver and may have been lifting the gun to demonstrate when the phone rang. "Just a minute." He placed the revolver on the coffee table and hurried to the kitchen, where the clock on the wall showed a few minutes before midnight. As he grabbed the phone, firecrackers sounded in the neighborhood. "This Ben?" It was Paul Captain, his father's friend, who sometimes helped with deliveries in the family hardware business. Later, he told his wife he'd had a bad feeling. "Hi, Mr. Captain." In my mind's eye, I can see Ben wrapping the long telephone cord around his wrist. "How you doing?" "Just hanging out." Ben slid back to the family room, his shoulder squeezing the phone to his cheek. Like his father, he may have raised his index finger to the younger boy, signaling the call wouldn't take long. "Your daddy there?" Paul coughed and waited. "He's at Harsha's," Ben said. "At a party." He leaned into the hallway to listen to the television report of the New Year's celebrations around the world. Paul's warm, intoxicated laugh held on to Ben. "You okay?" Paul paused for a moment. When Ben didn't answer, he said, "Look, you tell your daddy I called to wish him Happy New Year's, and you stay out of trouble. You hear?" "Okay, Mr. Captain," Ben said, grinning to his friend. "I'll tell him." And from what I could piece together, Ben hung up the phone, then raised the television volume in the living room. "Happy New Year! You want to try it?" He handed the younger boy the revolver. "You sure?" "Of course. Shoot it." The boy cocked the gun, aimed at Ben, and squeezed the trigger.